trying to find his bulb now. Ah, I can see it. He knew where it was. Look at him. Oh, look. That's where it is. You cheeky bugger. Let me throw it up the yard. All this bamboo springing up again. All this small stuff all through here. Damn. Some here just near the citrus. Just going to try and sit here quiet for a second, just to see if you can hear the buzz. You may have also noticed we've got flying ants all over the place, so they've come out tonight. The mosquitoes are usually pretty bad around dusk. They seem to have died down a bit. You sort of get a swarm of them and then all of a sudden they stop. If you can hear the buzzing or the humming, that tree's coming into flower. I think my neighbour said it's a Chinese elm. No, Chinese alder. But it's come into flower and it's now just surrounded by bees all day. Bees are good, but I'm allergic to them. We have had them all around the pond out the front getting drinks. Loads of them around the pond. I had to wave my next door neighbour. Started running a generator at one point, and that's all you could hear. I think he's about ready for going in. Yeah, he's having a lie down. Again. Sunday. No rain. Forecast changed and it's meant to be clear or partially cloudy for most of the day. Rain forecast for about 3-4 o'clock. There it says 90%. And storms and all that sort of stuff. So I'm going to try and get that stuff I had out the back mulched because I didn't get to that yesterday, which means I've got to sharpen up the blades of the mulcher again and see if I can trim more of the hedging around this back, get all the flowers off it and stuff like that. So you may remember there was a stack of big frondy type things that were growing. You can still kind of see the bases because I've just chopped them off. I've got to dig out the tubules to try and stop it from growing completely. But I cut all those out. They're all here. I did start to mulch them, as you can see just here. But I remember the last time I let them dry out a bit and then they fly through the mulch a lot easier. So I've mulched the other stuff that I'd cut down from along here. I tried to cut back more of the flowers. They're very difficult to do. I'll need a really tall pole saw with a hedge trimmer on it. And I've got the backyard weed whacked. All done. I say that because I haven't got the mower. And then I went out the front to try and get more of the flowers from up there with the whippersnipper. And I ran out of petrol, and from everything else I know, it won't restart. I mixed up some more fuel and filled it up, and it's just starting to spit rain. You can also hear the wind rushing up in the distance, so it's like the storm is getting ready to just whip through here. You can just feel it. One other thing with trying to use the whippersnipper to get all that stuff down, it's a vine, and it always just gets wrapped up around the end of the whippersnipper and gets stuck, and then the bamboo will get stuck as well. What I'd like to try and do is make some really long handles for the shears, because if I could do that, I'd be able to reach up. So I know that I've got some pieces of timber at the back that are pretty long. Just cut a little slot in them so that they go over the end of the shears. Afternoon, everyone. It's just coming up to Wednesday lunchtime, and we've had a fairly busy week of meetings and preparation for returning to school. Year 12 have the opportunity to come back full-time next week if they want to. At the moment, they're just doing coming in for tutorial lessons because they're only allowed on school site for about 3 hours maximum at the moment. Monday the 18th, next Monday, if staff want to be on school grounds, they have to be fully vaccinated. So I'm fine. My whole faculty's fine. Unless things change, the rest of the kids will return October 25, and that's what we're preparing for. The guidelines, because we're now level 3 plus, not level 4 plus. Level 4 plus would be no one at school. Level 3 plus is this staged return, and it means masks on indoors and outdoors on school sites. And we've been asked to try and keep student cohorts together. Our roll calls are currently mixed year groups, and we had to make them single year groups. So that's what I was doing over the last couple of days, and creating the roll call rooms based off one of their other classes that they do. And that's where they will go into that room for roll call, trying to minimise movement. It really doesn't look like it's going to be a return to school as per normal, but we'll be back at school and we'll see how many students come and that sort of stuff. If we've hit the 70% double dose level, if we hit 80%, they may change the rule. Trouble with that is that even though people have been injected, you're not covered for a couple of weeks because your body's got to work on those antibodies and things. Sydney did open up on Monday. Restrictions were eased, and shopping centres and that sort of stuff were crazy on the news. People in line for stores to open at 12:01 a.m. on Monday morning. Movie theatres, restaurants, bars, clubs, all that sort of stuff. So anyway, still working on Google Classroom with the classes, getting them ready, finalising grades, and I've started working on next year's timetable. I've got all the head teachers' allocations, and I've been inputting them into the timetable. I've still got a couple of faculties to go, which I might do after lunch. And then we'll see what classes aren't covered, what staff are under load, to start doing the whole negotiation process. So if you're under load, would you be willing to take this class? And that's that whole thing. We're under a teacher shortage, and people are being asked to teach out of their faculty area, their qualification area. That happens every year. See the blinds set up outside with the clips down low. I am so glad that I got that done, because it's been raining since Monday and just getting heavier. But as you can see, I've now got a dry walkway. It's just wet at the edge where it hits this and then runs down a little bit where it splashes through with the joins. But it does mean that I can basically walk from the bedroom into the office, because I've Can only access the office from the porch or from the outdoor corridor. Time to go get some lunch.